So we want to use a simple supply and demand model to examine the effects of a tariff on producer surplus, consumer surplus, tariff revenue, etc. And so we're going to choose a supply curve where we have supply equals P plus 7, and a demand curve where we have demand equals minus 3 over 2P plus 39 over 2. So let's imagine these are our supply and demand curves. We can first thing we might do is graph these supply and demand curves. And for example, for the demand curve, if the price, which we're measuring on the y-axis, is 0, then demand equals 39 over 2, which is roughly about, say, 20. So that's a point there. And if demand equals 0, then if D is equal to 0, then P is equal to 13. And so we can put that, say, roughly right around here. So that's our demand curve. Supply curve is simpler. When P is equal to 0, supply is equal to 7. So let's put that here, and then it has a slope of 1, so it's going to look like that. That's our supply curve. And let's imagine that our world price is equal to 3, and we have a tariff of 2. So we're going to have world price equal to 3, and world price plus the tariff is equal to 5. So the first thing we do is find out what these supply is when the price is equal to 3 and supply is equal to 10. When the price is equal to 5, we have supply equal to 5, we have supply, the price equal to 5, supply is equal to 12. When price is equal to 3, demand is equal to 15, and when price is equal to 5, we get demand equals 12. And then we go, whoa, what happened there? Supply and demand equals 12, but they're not the same. And that's because we drew the graph, right, correctly, but we put price equal to 5 over here, and price equal to 5 is indeed where they intersect. So I did that kind of deliberately just to show you that you can't always assume that the price plus the tariff is going to be below the domestic autarky price. Sometimes it could be at that price. Sometimes the price plus the tariff could be above, in which case the tariff above that will be irrelevant for analysis. That would be a fairly tricky question. So let's draw a graph of it again, and this time let's make sure that we have P equal to 5. That's the price plus the tariff. And then we have price equal to 3. And then we have 12 and 10 and 15. And the first thing we note is there's no tariff revenue, right? So since the tariff means that domestic demand is going to be equal to domestic supply at the price plus the world price plus the tariff, there will be no imports, so then there's no tariff revenue. So now the change in producer surplus is this area, and we can measure that, right? We can easily calculate that. The change in producer surplus is equal to this square, or rectangle, 10 times 2, which is 20, and this triangle, which is 2 times 2 divided by 2, so that's 2, so plus 2, so producer surplus is 22. Then we look at consumer surplus. Consumer surplus is this whole area here. Let me actually erase these various things that I've done. Yeah, so now we get consumer surplus is all of this, and that's a rectangle and a triangle. So the change in consumer surplus equals, and remember that's we can represent that by negative. So it's 12 times 2 is 24, and then this other is 2 times 3, 2 here, 3 here, divided by 2 is 3, so it's negative 27. So the net effect is this negative 25 offset by the increase in producer surplus of 22. So we have negative 3 is the deadweight loss. And we can check that the, negative 27, so negative 5 is the deadweight loss. I'm sorry. We can check that that negative 5 is right, and thinking about checking it is what led me to see my mathematical mistake there. We check it by making sure that that's equal to the area of these two triangles, which are the deadweight loss triangles. And indeed, one is 2 and the other is 3, and so that adds up to 5. So that's how we look at the effects of a tariff on consumer surplus, producer surplus, and tariff revenue.